What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. If you are, be sure to press the like button. Otherwise, no joke, no scam. This video won't hit recommended, which would really suck. So, do me a favor, smash the like button. I would just really appreciate it. Anyways, guys, today I have a story about the time I accidentally got involved in car theft. Yeah, that's right. I didn't actually get directly involved, but I was close enough to know that, like, I'm really good. You know, I'm not built for a life of crime. I don't think I would do very well in prison. I'm a tall, skinny white boy. I'm pretty sure I would end up being bent over in the shower pretty quickly, so I'm just gonna avoid it altogether, and this was the closest I needed to get to car theft to, you know, feel alive. I'll stick to getting kill streaks in Modern Warfare 2 like the one you're watching, you know, that's my thrill. I don't need to turn to a life of crime. I'm not a bank robber. So, anyways, let's get into it. When I was younger, for whatever reason, we would always want to hang out with girls late at night, you know, for whatever reason. I'm not gonna make any explanation, but you can pretty much insinuate that when I was a young teenager, there were instances where being alone with girls without supervision was pretty fun. And when you're about 16 years old, everybody and their mom thinks driving is basically the coolest thing to exist, because not a lot of people have it. Like, when you're in that awkward stage where half the kids in your grade are 16 and can drive, and the other half have to awkwardly raise their scooter everywhere, the kids that can drive are insanely cool, and this leads to a lot of people to, you know, just stretch the truth a little bit when it comes to their driving abilities or the ability to borrow a car consistently. And I mean, I get it. When you're a teenager, everything's awkward. I'm pretty sure every teenager in America is a little bit insecure at some point. That's just how being a teenager is, and it kind of sucks, but it's reality. And one night, I'm hanging out with one of my better friends at the time who I had just kind of started to get to know. And he had this girlfriend that was hanging out with her friend, and his girlfriend was 16, and he basically says, look, they're gonna drive here. She got a car, and she has her license. They're gonna drive here, and we're gonna go to this spot on top of this mountain, and basically you're gonna make out with her friend, I'm gonna make out with her girlfriend, and we're all gonna be golden. And I mean, if that's all I have to do to make out with the girl who I thought was pretty cute, then I'm totally down. No big deal whatsoever. So whatever, the time comes, we get inside of his girlfriend's car. I meet this girl for the first time, and I'd followed her on Instagram for a bit, so it wasn't that awkward, I guess. It's always a little awkward, but I don't have a ton of trouble talking, as you can tell by the fact that my job is talking to myself about stuff that I've done in my idiotic past for like 10 minutes a day. And we kind of hit it off. We start talking. Everything's going pretty good. We go to Sonic, get some milkshake. Shout out to Sonic. They're not sponsoring me, but if they want to toss me the bag, I have quite a bit of stories that involve stopping at Sonic at some point in the night, because milkshakes from Sonic are just basically a good way to get to know somebody, and they're also delicious. I really don't know why I'm plugging Sonic so hard right now, but I'd appreciate them tossing the bag. Regardless, we're at Sonic, and then we go to the spot on the mountain, and obviously we separate a little bit. I had like a picnic blanket set up a little bit higher up on the hill. They stayed in the car, and this girl and I that hit it off, you know, we got to know each other a little bit better without the talking, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. Nothing crazy, we just made out, but it was pretty fun. It was pretty enjoyable. It was really, really fun until this happened. So where we were hanging out is actually up by this water tower in my town, and there's like a service road that you can drive up to get there, and the service road has these metal dividers that are supposed to keep the road closed, and me and my friend had just jumped out and opened them because somebody had come through and cut the chain earlier. And we didn't cut the chain. Like, I swear on my channel, we did not cut the chain to open the divider thing, but we had just opened it and driven up. But someone had kept cutting this chain, and it was now starting to cost the city some money, so they were coming back and forth and checking on it. And we just so happened to be the unlucky people who had a car on top of the hill that they were looking at to find which idiot was going to the top of the hill. So as I'm making out with this girl, everything was going great. We see some bright headlights coming up, and I think it's just another group of kids coming to make out. And then the worst possible thing that can happen happens. In the dark, you know, they turn the lights on and do one like whoop. It's not even a siren. It's just enough for us to know that that was like the warning shot, you know, that you guys just got busted. So whatever, we walk back down the hill to the car, and I'm really not worried at this point, because yeah, the cops caught us. They're probably gonna yell at us for being up here, but we really didn't cut the chain, and it's not past curfew. Plus we're with a girl with a license, so there's really no problem. Or so I thought. thought. So there's two cops in the car, and they start talking to us, and one of them takes the two girls off, and then one guy is talking to me and my friend. And I'm a pretty smooth talker, and I didn't think we had done anything wrong, so we're basically telling him, oh no, like, we're here with his girlfriend, she borrowed her dad's car, she has a license, everything's good, no big deal. And the cop is talking to us, he's like, oh, I used to bring girls up here to the water tower back in high school too, so I get it, and it won't be any problem as long as your girlfriend has her license on her and everything's good, you guys aren't doing drugs or anything. No, of course not. I'm pretty sure that we're in the clear. I'm really not stressing at this point whatsoever. I'm really like, whatever happens, I'm alright. And that's when the other cop starts walking back with the girls, and I can tell by the looks on the girls' faces and the fact that it looks like they've been crying in the officer's stern walk that their talk did not go as good with our guy. So they get back to within earshot, and obviously the dude's partner is like all tensed up, so he says, what's wrong? And the other cop goes, this girl, and points at my friend's girlfriend, doesn't have her license. And everyone's like, wait, what do you mean? And her boyfriend says, I thought you had your license. And, you know, she looks down and is like, no, I lied, but I took my dad's car. And the cop goes, without him knowing. And we're all kind of like, ah, crap, this is not a very good situation. And the cops are obviously annoyed because what they thought was just going to be coming up here, obviously finding some kids making out and then yelling at them, scaring them a little bit and sending them on their way, now becomes a case of 4 15, 16-year-olds on top of a mountain that were just making out and are in a car that the person who owns doesn't know is missing, being driven by somebody without their license. Just a lot of paperwork, not the night that they were low-key going for. So at this point, we kind of realize that we're going to get in trouble, and the girls are a crying mess, and they keep looking at us, and his girlfriend is like, do something, and I'm getting annoyed with her because, great, now I'm going to have my parents come pick me up, and it is like 9 p.m., curfew here is 11, but it's late enough where my parents are obviously going to know what I was doing with the girl at a water tower, and I just don't want to have that interaction with my parents. That's awkward. So I'm kind of annoyed, and she keeps complaining to her boyfriend for him to do something, and he's like, you don't have a license and your dad doesn't know we took the car. We're done. There's nothing I can do. No amount of talking is going to let the cops let us leave. Could you imagine being able to talk your way out of that situation? At that point, you're not a person. You're like on a legendary status with Han Solo. So the cops come back after making us stand there, and they're basically like, look, we're going to call all your parents. They're going to have to come pick you up, and you, young lady, are going to have to wait for your dad because we're going to tell him that you stole his car. And for whatever reason, my friend's girlfriend like snaps and basically says, you have no right to call my dad. I'm a U.S. citizen. I have every right to drive a car wherever I please, and starts like yelling at the cops. And I'm putting my head in my hands at this point and trying not to laugh or smile or do anything that makes the cops think I'm involved in this at all. If we're gonna be yelling at the cops, I'd rather my parents just come get me. Yeah, it's awkward. My mom has to know that I was making out with a girl, but it's better than this girl screaming at the cops for just doing their job. So she's yelling at the cops, and the cops are obviously annoyed, and they ask her, well, what would you like us to do? What would you classify taking a car without permission? And she says, and I quote, one of the most spoiled sentences that I've ever heard, Daddy wouldn't care that I could borrow the car, as if her dad's opinion is really what matters. The laws we have in place, the fact that you have to pass a driver's test to be able to drive a car on the road, nah, those don't matter. Throw it out just because Daddy said that he wouldn't care. That's exactly what we need in America. Actually, Your Honor, yes, I was driving without a license because it was taken away after my 12th DUI, but need I remind you that Daddy said it's perfectly okay? So she's starting to get belligerent, and the officers threaten to put her in the back of the squad car, and she looks at them defiantly and says, you will be doing no such thing. If you lay a hand on me, I'm gonna tell Daddy. Just low-key, I don't know if she had a mental snap or what, but basically became the epitome of Paris Hilton attitude. And the cops ended up putting her in the back of the car while we waited awkwardly for all of our parents. After the cops came back, they joked around though and were like, what was her problem? And we all uncomfortably laughed because we didn't want to say anything wrong. And thankfully, for whatever reason, my mom didn't call, and my dad was the one to pick me up. And since he's a real one, we agreed to basically never tell my mom, sorry, not my mom, not the lawn. He wouldn't tell my mom as long as I mowed the lawns all summer, and since we live in Las Vegas, it's like 115 degrees. But I'll take mowing lawns over having to explain to my mom why my dad had to come get me with the cops calling the house at like 9 at night, because my mom goes to bed early. But real talk, it was a pretty fun night. Seeing a spoiled girl freak out on the cops definitely is not something every day, and I'm pretty sure daddy didn't end up getting her out of trouble. The good thing is her parents weren't even the type of parents to let her get away with anything, and she ended up getting grounded. So basically the end of the school year for stealing her parents' car, which is a pretty solid punishment to crime ratio. So Dad, if you're watching this, thanks for being a real one. On that note, guys, that's gonna do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you're enjoying the last couple of chill videos I've been popping out. Follow me on Instagram on Scrubby, and if you turn on those notifications if you're new, send a screenshot over there because I give a notification shout out every day. Today's notification shout out goes to the very awesome and very consistent Queen of the Night 333. Thank you for having on notifications. I very much appreciate it. And yeah, join the Discord server. The updated link will be in the description. There's like 3,000 people in there now, and I've been typing more. And yeah, don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. I'm out. Peace.